I am your maid, but I didn't come here to be bullied.
How long have you been out of job for?
2 months. Maybe?
Yes.
Minta mama.
Ilo Ilo is the film that less than 2 years ago took 2 weeks ago rather took home 4 Golden Horse Awards, Asia's equivalent of the Oscars.
Well, the depth of its win stunned many and established that an outsider could make it in a world dominated by Taiwan, China and Hong Kong, the big guns of Chinese cinema.
That's right. Ilo Ilo has also made its mark on world cinema. In May, if you recall, earlier this year, it won the Camera d'Or for Best Feature Film at the Cannes Film Festival, and the awards just keep on coming.
Well, the film has been nominated in 4 categories for the Asia Pacific Film Festival held in Macau next week. And not a bad haul at all. In fact, it's been a pretty incredible ride for Anthony Chen, director of the film. He joins us in studio this morning. Good morning, Anthony.
Yeah,
Good
so
morning.
incredible is
Wow,
the word
yeah.
you use. What would you say?
I'd say tiring is the word. It's been a really long journey. It's been very, very hectic. And very, very surprising. I think it's been a very, very surprising 6 months, and I think the film is moving a little bit too fast for me. I'm playing catch up. You know?
Yeah, that's what you said earlier. So, you know, you never imagined it would take you so far, but it's really had a lot of surprising turns for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, I'm still bewildered that this small little film from this small little country is. It's going to so many places, and you know, we have been receiving all sorts of beautiful responses from around the world.
So we have to ask you, I mean, we did speak to you, you know, right at the start with the Cannes Award, and now we're asking you again, what do you think it is about the film that is connecting with people? Because the more people see it, the more awards it's getting, and of course the more awards it gets, the more people will go see it, you know, so it's kind of a vicious cycle. So, you've spoken to some people, and have you asked them? I mean, what do you like the film?
I think what's interesting is, you know, I had a nice little discussion with Ang Lee, the jury president at the Golden Horse, after the awards, and he said, you know, the interesting thing about this film is that all the jury members like it because it was so pure. It was so pure. It was so simple that it just stood out among, you know, all the other films that were very heavy in style and heavy in personality. And this film was just this humble little thing that wasn't trying to do anything. I think it was the honesty and sincerity of the film that actually moved people.
Right. It is your story, and your story has really taken you places. In fact, you've been traveling quite a bit, and you just came back yesterday.
Yes, I just came back yesterday from the Philippines because we had 2 premieres in the Philippines. We had one on Sunday in Ilo Ilo. That was a charity premiere, and the proceeds actually went to the typhoon victims. And then we had another one on Monday in Manila, 1,600 strong audience. Beautiful responses as well.
So even in the Philippines, I mean, when you brought it to Ilo Ilo, for example, how did people react there?
I think they connected with the film in a very different way because they felt so proud. They almost felt like this film belonged to them because for the first time, you know, the world knew where they were, what this place was. All of a sudden, they felt they had a voice, they had a platform to show to the world, hey, this is Ilo Ilo.
Right.
Yeah, I think so.
And all thanks to you. I can't take my eyes off these golden horses that you brought in.
Very, very heavy.
These weigh a ton.
Yeah, I never realized it's
wow,
so
actually,
heavy.
yeah, I never realized they were.
You actually won 4 of them, right?
Yeah, and then
3 in today.
There's one with the actress, you know, Yo Yan Yan. She has brought it back for her homecoming back in Malaysia because she's Malaysian.
Right, right.
So when you got all 4, how did you feel? A surprise? I mean, did you go in there with any expectations at all?
No, that's the thing. You know, I was like a little fanboy. I charged my phone. I brought an additional battery pack. I was telling myself, okay, I'm just gonna go and take pictures with all the celebrities, stars, and directors that I admire so much. I was thinking I'm gonna have my fanboy moment, but it became something else. You know, at the end we were the biggest winner. We won the biggest prize. And all the stars and directors, they came to our party, and it was just surreal. It was completely surreal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I think we went in with completely no expectations at all. So it wasn't just a surprise. To be honest, it was quite a shock. And I was telling myself, you know, every time I was telling myself, okay, perhaps I'll have to go once, and I prepared, what I'm going to say for the first time, and I had to go up 3 times, and I was telling myself,
lots of words.
Okay, let's not say the wrong things. Let's not, like the last thing I want to do is to make my country look bad.
Well, that's what we want to ask you next.
Yeah.
So now you have this weight, this burden of your country, because from Singapore, this is the first time a movie has won so many awards, and to be on the world stage, everyone's looking at you now. Do you feel this added pressure?
There is pressure, of course. I think everyone, the media all over the world, critics, programmers from festivals, they're all keeping their eyes open as to what that next film will be. What's the shape of it, what's it going to be, what subject matter. I think I'm not going to rush into a film as yet.
But you've sort of already started, haven't you? I heard you've got...
Not exactly.
Really.
I think there's some ideas, that are sort of brimming in my head. But I think I really need to take things slow, because this film hasn't come to a stop yet. I've got publicity and festivals until June next year. Until I've put this film aside. I've time to really take a good break, free my mind. I'm not going to rush into I'm going to make this film.
I think you'll be kept busy till the Oscars. There's an Oscar buzz, right?
Yeah, but you know what? I
That's
think it's too impossible. I wouldn't dream of it.
Never underestimate.
Well, you may have thought this was impossible a few months ago,
so I think let's go in again with no expectations.
That's the best, actually. Be surprised.
Well, the thing is that there's also going to be pressure on you to do something quite soon after. You can't really relax as much as you would like to, because everyone's hoping for the next one.
I'm giving myself about 2 years. Hopefully I would have something in 2 years, but I'm not going to rush into something and in 6 months we're going to have a film. Because I think if you want to make a good film, it takes a lot of patience, a lot of time, a lot of effort.
And money as well, because that's one article that kind of surprised a lot of people.
And money
you
as
mentioning that, your bank account is almost...
It's a little bit less, I think it's much flatter now, which is why I love traveling. Because when I'm traveling, the festivals, the distributors, they pay for my flights, they pay for my hotels, they pay for my meals, and I feel much richer when I'm traveling.
So we're going to ask you, because, the awards themselves often don't give you money in that sense, So... But people are surprised when you say you're broke in that sense, So, didn't the film itself make money? The film made money, yes. I think the film is on its way. I can't say as yet because it's still screening in a lot of countries and the full numbers haven't come in yet. But I think it's on its way towards recoupment. I think it might make a tiny profit. But my producers and I, we have no equity on the film, so we're not going to see a cent of it. It's going to go back to the investors. But you know what? I'm still immensely grateful, for the opportunity to make that first film. It's very, very hard to get a first full-length film up and running. I know so many talented friends all over the world, in the UK, in America, and they haven't had their first break yet. They haven't had the chance to even make their first film. So I think any director would do anything to make that first film. So it's not so much, if it was all about money, honestly, I think I'll be in banking and finance now. I wouldn't be in banking. There's lots more money out there to be made in the world, in other sectors. Well, the good thing about the awards is you probably will have quite a decent budget for your next film, because I think many people will be keen to invest with your next film.
Yeah, so, and hopefully I'll be paid, quite handsomely.
Yes, you should cater a director's fee this time around.
Well, thank you, Anthony. Thank you so much for it. Congratulations on your awards, Anthony Chen, the director of the multi-award-winning film Ilo Ilo. He arrived yesterday from the Philippines. We thank him coming in this morning.
That's right. Well, the film is currently out in cinemas in Singapore, Hong Kong, and Taiwan. For those in the Philippines, the movie will hit theaters today. That's the 4th of December.